Actually, what is that we are going to do? We can create the generic context which is prefixed with / BNC. Even navigational also, X and Y tables. What is X? Time. Navigation attributes are getting. What is Y? Then dependent. So you got for both the attributes, right? So you got for display, you got for navigational. Even for display, you got time dependent, no? Then I think you're very silent. Yeah. So that is SID. SID table for characteristic is different from SID table to navigational attributes. Come again? It depends on your business system. See, let's say if you take out material, there are going to be 8 material hierarchies. If you take out employee, sales side is employee-wise hierarchies. And some of the organizations, they don't follow employee-wise hierarchies. If it is manufacturing, they used to go by mostly product and material hierarchies. Getting my point? It depends on your requirement. If it is really hierarchy relevant, enable that flag. Otherwise, you need not to enable. Yeah. Even if you want to remove your text tab, you can remove the text tab by deselecting your text flag. Even if you don't want to maintain any attributes, you want to just have characteristics, you can just go by that. It depends on your requirements, how you want to design your system. Yeah. See, it's not mandatory. If let's say document number, I don't want to have any attributes. So then you can remove this flag. And I don't want to maintain any text also. Right? So it depends on all your design. I'm started again. Yeah. So let me go for the next concept. I just want to go for next concepts. Nothing? Hello? Wisdom. Yeah, I can hear you, but yeah, tell me. Thank you. I could not get you. I can hear only, I don't know. Drop a message now. Zero source system works. I'm getting employee master from multiple source systems. I just want to differentiate between from which source system I'm getting the data. Same employee details I'm getting from multiple source systems, from country like Canada, country like Germany. So in that case, we can just go by zero source system. It is going to, if the data is from Canada, it's going to give you as Canada. If the data is from Germany, it's going to give you as Germany. I told you now, employee and department, composite key relations. That's what I told you. Same employee, see, employee ID 100 could be there from US, could be there from Canada. So how to differentiate? By using a composite key, that is CSO system, since the data you are getting is a different country. Is it clear? Elvis? Right. I just want to go for the next one. That is InfoQ. The next concept. Our objective is we are trying to design a data model with respect to sales orders. So in that data model, we are designing fact table. We are supposed to design fact table, dimension table, surrogate ID connects to master data table. So see, as part of this data model, already these tables are generated. Now, when you create InfoCube system, is going to generate fact table and dimension table. So this is designed the complete schema we are going to get. If this is designed, the schema could be completed. So clean. Yeah, right. So I told you extended sum schema. Anybody? What is this? What is there in fact table? Key figures plus dimensional keys. Right. Max you can place. Yes. And I told you there are two fact tables. What is that? Yeah. F and E fact table. And dimension table. What is there? Your dimensional key as well as surrogate ID. Nothing but characteristic. Max how many you can have? Yes. A max number of dimensions. And out of that, 3 are system defined, remaining 13 user defined dimensions. Right. Minimum. Yes, 3 system in minimum 4 dimensions, that is 3 system and at least 1 user defined dimensions. That's it. What are the system defined dimensions? One is okay. Second one, data package dimension, time dimension, unit dimension, and data package dimension. I told you what is what. And before going to that, I just want to tell you different types of InfoQs. Yeah. Yeah, if you can refer to the system architecture, InfoCube is a cubical structure where we are going to generate multi-dimensional reports. And for the InfoCube, I told you the transaction data is loaded. The structure of InfoCube is fact table and dimension table, which is loaded with transaction data. And the purpose is to go for multi-dimensional reporting. Right? Fine. And I just want to go by types of InfoCubes. First one, standard InfoCube. Standard InfoCube. Second one, what real-time InfoCube or transactional InfoCube in 3.5. Real-time InfoCube. Third one, you got virtual provider. Virtual providers. So I'm talking about standard InfoCube. First one, it is read optimized. It is read optimized means many can read the data parallelly, but only one can write the data parallelly. Only one can write the data parallelly, that's all. Like let's say for example I got some InfoCube, ZSD_301. Sales status InfoCube, this is sales status InfoCube, isn't that? So on this InfoCube I've generated different reports like report 1, 2, 3 like this. And with respect to different users like X, Y, see all the three users can go through their reports parallelly, it doesn't matter. And I got developer 1, let's say. Developer 1, 2, 3. Developer 1 is loading the data. So developer 2 and 3 can do nothing for that particular InfoCube. Since already developer 1 is loading the data. Parallel writing is not allowed in case of standard InfoCube. Only parallel reading by multiple users, it is allowed. It's going to give you locking issues. It's going to give you locking issues, and to delete all the locks, use SM12. This is a transaction code. If you want to delete any locks, you can go by this SM12. Click on list. So here you can select the required entry, go with delete. Select the required entry, just click on delete, that's all. So you can delete the locks. So I'm talking about standard InfoCube, which is read optimized, means many can read the data parallelly, but only one can write the data parallelly. That's what important for you. Any questions? Any questions, anybody? Elvis? Right, wisdom, anything? Done? At the same time. Yeah. Simultaneously, you can say. Right. Done? See, at the same time, all the three users can read the data. Simultaneously, all the three users can read the data. But when it comes to data loading, only one can load the data simultaneously. Right. See, let's say for example, I'll just show you here. Workbench. I'm trying to change this object. So here I've opened change mode. Now I'll open in another session. I'm just opening. Like this you can go by 6 sessions. This is a new session. Otherwise from here you can just create session. Right. Now I'm just trying to change same employee. So what it says now? Now you are going to have this lock. So go to SM12 now. SM12. Click on give the user, click on list. Now you can see this. You can just select all, delete, and previous task must be finished. It has to be removed. Now it's going to yellow for changing. Right click. Change. Is it clear? My question still? Wisdom? Any questions? Wisdom? Right. Next one I'm talking about real-time InfoCube. Mostly in BABW system we are going to use standard InfoCube. So in SAP BW system, to store the historical data, the basic cubes are used. In SAP BABW system, most of the time to store the historical data, the basic cubes are used. And when it comes to real-time InfoCube, you can say it as transactional InfoCube in 3.5. Always they are used in planning applications. And it is always used to store the planning related data. It is always used for storing the planning related data. That's what. Whatever data that is used as part of planning, that will be used. And right, let me make it. It is read and write optimized. Means, anybody? Read and write optimized. Means many can read the data as well as many can write the data parallelly. It doesn't match. Many can read the data as well as many can write the data parallelly. It doesn't matter. Any questions? So there are planning applications like BPS, business planning and simulation, and BPC, business objects planning and consolidation. We got something called integrated planning like this. Yes, parallelly. That's what I mean to say. Read and write optimized. Since planning is done by business users parallelly, end of every month it has to be given with next month's sales forecast. So there is a chance of forecasting all the users at the same time. So the planning related data will be stored to this InfoCube parallelly. Nothing but write optimizing. Read and write optimized. Right, next one I'm talking about virtual providers. In 3.5 was the remote cube. Using this, we can directly report on source data without loading to BW system. So far we are moving the data. But in this case, we don't want to go for any data loading work. So data will be there in application system, whatever may be the system. And in SAP BABW system, we are going to generate a remote cube. On this remote cube, we are going to generate a report. So this report, it's going to display the data from application system directly. So it is very much useful in process-oriented industries. It is very much useful in process-oriented industries. Like let's say for example, if you go with the manufacturing, what is that? First of all, sales order procurement. sales orders. Then as per the sales order, material is procured, and then once the metal is procured, all the components are assembled. Assembling, let's say for example, then you can say it as some installations kind of thing. Of course, you can say it as an interface only, right? Assembling, and let's say final finishing, then packing, then delivery. Like this, the business has to undergo different set of processes. So in this particular process-oriented industries, so what is that I'm using? Let's say SAP BABW system. So if I use a standard InfoCube, what is that? I'm supposed to load the data. When I'm loading the data, let's say the sales order is in under procurement stage, let's say for example. And I'm going to load the data. See, the sales order status is procurement. And if I report on this, the sales order will be order status will be material procurement. But by the time I report on this, the same sales order might be there in delivery, but still your report is showing as material procurement, right? So in that case, instead of loading the data directly, reporting on a real-time system is advisable. Remote. So here we are going to use a remote cube or virtual provider. So if the order is there in material procurement, it's going to show you as material procurement. If it is there in packing, it's going to show you as packing. If it is there in delivery, it's going to show you as delivery. Simple stock price. What happens? Every second keeps on changing. So in that case, if I load the data and if I report on that, by the time I report on that, the share price might be changed 1,000 times. The price might have been changed many times. So in that case, instead of loading the data, directly reporting on wisdom. Can you hear me? Elvis, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Elvis, can you hear me? I don't hear you. Wisdom. Can you hear me? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Elvis, can you hear me? Right. See, this is about your virtual provider or real-time InfoCube. Sorry, virtual provider or remote cube. You got three types of InfoCubes. One is standard InfoCube. Second one, real-time InfoCube. Third one, virtual provider. Mostly we are going to design standard InfoCube. I'll show you some situations with respect to other InfoCubes. But mostly in the BABW system, we are going to use basic cubes. Yes. We can design that also, doesn't matter. Yeah, we can design. Yeah, any more? Yeah. So anybody else? Wisdom, is that okay? I don't know guys whether you're there or not, yeah. Try to reinstall your sound drivers, Wisdom. I think it can fix the issue. Basic and standard both same. Basic InfoCube or standard InfoCube both are same. Basic in 3.5, standard in 7.0 it seems. And this is transactional InfoCube in 3.5. In 7 it is real-time InfoCube. Remote cube in 3.5 and 7 it is virtual provider. Yeah. I'll do one thing. I'll just show you how to create all this in tomorrow's session. Since it's going to take out some time, I'll take up in tomorrow's session. Okay. Try to go through all this information and try to go through your schemas. Right? It's going to take out some time. I'll take up in tomorrow's session.